Hi everyone, welcome to PowerShell for Pen Testers at Pentester Academy. In this video and couple of upcoming videos, we will discuss using Metasploit and PowerShell together. Metasploit has some modules which utilize PowerShell while interacting with Windows machines, and the payload generators in the Metasploit framework are also capable of creating PowerShell payloads. So let's get started. Let's first see how we can generate PowerShell payloads using the Metasploit framework. And after that, we will see how to use couple of Metasploit modules which use PowerShell. First, let's use MSF Venom. So this is a basic structure of the MSF Venom command if you want to generate a PowerShell payload from it. So MSF Venom is the command name. We want it to generate a payload which is specified by -p. This is the payload. This is the payload option we want. And the format we want is PSH. So let's generate it. Recall that we have been using PS payload and PS payload 64 in all of our lab demonstrations up to now. Now if we see the contents of PS payload 64, we will see that it is nothing but a PowerShell script. Let's quickly go through it. Let's just copy it in ISE. Meanwhile, ISE opens. Let's see what this script is. You can see that there is a here string which contains some Windows API definitions. And recall that how do we use these definitions using the member definition parameter. This is the shellcode generated by Metasploit, and this simple line of code runs this shellcode in PowerShell. So nothing really out of this world here, quite simple and neat piece of code. MSF Venom provides two more formats to generate, rather three more methods to generate shellcode with the help of PowerShell. Shellcode in PowerShell. For example, if you use PowerShell here, only this shellcode would be generated, which is fine if you want to use it in your own script. Another method is to use PSHnet, which you can have a look at on your own. The option I am really interested in it is this. Recall that in the previous one of the previous videos, while discussing phpMyAdmin, I said that it was not possible to execute PowerShell payload generated by Metasploit because it needed to write to temporary directory to compile the C# code in it. Interestingly, while doing a bit research for this video, I came across this PSH-reflection method of generating a PowerShell script using Metasploit. As the name suggests, this script loads our shellcode completely in memory, and there is no need to touch the disk, and therefore, as you can guess, we could use this script as well in that attack. I'm not going into details of this script, but couple of things to note here is, note that we have seen this earlier, where when we were exploring the .NET assemblies available in the current PowerShell session, this is exactly which we used. If you want, you can go through the source code. I'm more interested in its usage. As I said, I stumbled across this PSH-reflection method while I was doing a bit of research for this video, and right now this PS payload here is PS payload is generated using the PSH-reflection method. And now if I execute this on the target machine, we have a Metasploit session. So if you want to use PowerShell script or payload generated from the Metasploit framework, PSH-reflection is your best bet. In fact, let me modify this and say PSH reflection here. So this is one of the ways to generate a PowerShell payload from Metasploit. We have already seen CMD Windows reverse PowerShell in one of the previous videos, and it is nothing but this. As you can see, this is a simple PowerShell script which uses a couple of .NET classes to connect back to a target machine, and what you get is, if I can find it in there, it attaches a cmd.exe, I believe. Here it is. So you'll get a command prompt from a PowerShell script. Useful in many scenarios, but not really cool to get a cmd.exe, something as old as cmd.exe from a PowerShell script. Still really useful in cases where we have really small space for our shell code, for example, our client-side attacks. You can always use it with the MSF Venom as well. Now let's see a couple of interesting modules. There is no need to execute these. Rather, let's just sorry, rather let's just use these and see their info. So one really useful module is PS exec PSH. All things apart, the best thing about this module is this: it uses the encoded command flag of PowerShell, which means our payload stays in memory by the PowerShell process itself. So, as the information says, it is less prone to signature based detection in such cases. I really do not want you to just demonstrate this. It is pretty easy to use. The second one I like is this one, which could be used to upgrade a native command prompt to a Meterpreter. So this one is quite useful when you have to use a native shell in an exploit for any reason, lack of space or anything. So this one comes really handy in such cases. So this is the way we use it. You need to provide session of the, let's see if I have a session running. Okay, so there is a shell windows running here. And actually the option has been set to this session already. So now if I run this, we have been able to move to a Meterpreter session from a native Windows shell. So that is all for this video. If you are enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, please recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the information security community.